something, outside of sleeping. Like, I also ate a lot yesterday. I don't know what was up with that. Like, in the morning, I had 2 tacos. Then I was still hungry, so I went to the Anti-Gay Chicken, aka Chick-fil-A, and got me 4 chicken minis. Content. Then a couple hours later, I went on my lunch and I was like, why am I so hungry? So I got me a triple burger from Wendy's and a fry, a medium fry. And because I went straight to bed after work, I didn't have anything for dinner. But I was like, girl, that's a lot of food. Like, I cannot afford to eat that much. Like, like I don't usually spend that much money on casually eating like that. Like a restaurant, sure, that's one thing. But like casually eating, like, the 2 tacos, and then I usually would have gotten like something a bit smaller for lunch, and then I would have had dinner after that. But anyways, so I wouldn't say my energy is off. I also started my period yesterday, so I don't know if all this is related, but yes. Anyways, since but yeah, since I watch so many pick-up pile videos and I'm very spiritual myself. Now, I'm not the type of spiritual who can just do a tarot deck without looking up the meaning of the cards yet. I'm not to that point yet. Okay. Like, I got into spirituality in like 2020, and it's been like a slow process to really get into it and like learn things. So anyways, I did bless each of these piles. I have 3 different decks, 3 different energies, and I blessed each one with love. So rose quartz and angel aura rose quartz and angel aura, angel aura quartz. So this is my rose quartz. We have the angel aura quartz, then the angel aura rose quartz. So I meditated with these crystals like on each of the decks, just to kind of see what I wanted to know from each of the decks, not just for myself but for the collective. So let's get into it. So I do have, let me just show you the decks. The first one is this one. it is pick a pile, but it's not like super light. This one, like, you can pick all of them, so. Okay. I'm gonna do 3 cards each, unless another card or other cards, like, come out. We'll see. Or I just need more clarification. 3 is typically good for me, though. So the first one is 9 of Wands. So we have. Sorry, my neck hurts so bad. Okay. 9 of Wands. Completion, protection, boundaries, distress. Okay. Then we have King of Wands. Passion, fury, creativity, courage, power, leadership. And then we have Page of Wands. Creative energy, message, passion, education, exciting news. So, how does this relate to feminine energy? So, I think what this means is for the 9 of Wands, I'm gonna go by each card first, and then I'm gonna really think of what the universe wants me to tell y'all. Okay? So, completion, protection, boundaries, distrust. I definitely think that this is saying, like, with your feminine energy, do be wise with who you trust, because your feminine energy wants protection, and it doesn't want to feel like, when you have a fake friend or something like that, and you're gonna have to eventually get them out. Your feminine energy doesn't want to have to do all that later. It's like, let's do it now, so that I'm, like, content with what I have, with who I have in my life. And then the King of Wands, passion, fury, creativity, courage, power, leadership. I think it's definitely saying to take leadership by being creative. And with your creativity, use courage, send powerful messages, and use a lot of passion. So, Page of Wands, creative energy, more creative energy, message, passion, education, exciting news. I think again it's saying to be creative, send messages with your creativity. Again, more passion. So, King of Wands and Page of Wands are both creative energy with passion, saying, like, have some sort of bold meaning to your creativity. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there. That's what the King of Wands is basically saying. And what Page of Wands is with the education and exciting news. I would say it's saying, like, don't be afraid to educate yourself to enable you to be more creative, or enable you to put a more powerful message in your creativity. And with the exciting news, I think that's definitely gonna help to relate to your creativity or what you're producing. So, with your powerful messages through your creativity, through your art, I think you're gonna get some good news from that. So, even if that's just, finding more people who like your vibe, or maybe you start is creativity with these powerful messages through your creativity, because King of Wands, leadership, power, courage. I think that's where you're gonna see it. So even if that means like your exciting news is gonna be your new opportunities you get through your art or through the messages that you have with your art. And I think it's especially important that you do set these boundaries. That's great to have all these Wands cards, that you do put these boundaries, that you do keep yourself safe, especially with these powerful messages. Like, it's gonna really try to show, like, you're putting yourself out there to show what you stand for. So know who you can trust by evaluating people, by trying to truly protect yourself, and knowing that if they don't align with your beliefs, get them out. Like, that's, you don't need them in your free time, okay? So I would definitely start doing creative hobbies right now if this is the path you chose, because your feminine energy is wanting you to be creative. It's really wanting you to produce some powerful messages through your art. So I think that's really beautiful. Yeah. I'm gonna set these cards to the side. Alright. So next we have the villain arrow. What does your villain arrow want to know? First card. The Devil. The powerful, mysterious Chernabog exerts a potent influence over his dancing minions, who are content with their fate as they're thrown into the volcanic fire of Bald Mountain. The Devil Tarot card represents vice and destructive behaviors, but reminds you that, like Chernabog's minions, you have a choice whether or not to participate in them. Upright, which is what we pulled. The Devil asks you to examine your own behaviors. Could you be sabotaging your success? If you're feeling tempted to overindulge in vice, the Devil is a reminder to consider the potential consequences of your actions. Chernabog summons his minions with dazzling displays of power, but their allegiance proves to be their downfall as he tosses them into the Fury Mountain. Learn a lesson from them by discerning, and don't let yourself be deceived by empty promises or distracted by instant gratification. Okay, let's see what the next card we're going to pull is. This tarot card shows big shifts are coming your way. Take inspiration from Hades and keep your trademark sense of humor about you throughout this transformation. Staying positive and excited will make the whole process go smoothly. Interesting. I still have a cough, so if you see me pausing the video, it's to literally cough and drink water. Okay. Okay, the Nine of Coins. Reversed. Have you been selling yourself short? Reverse Nine of Coins suggests you may be undervaluing your time and skills. Make sure you're getting the compensation you deserve. What you have to offer is important and valuable. Okay, so let me try to think what this villain side is trying, your villain era is trying to tell you. I think with the Devil and Nine of Coins, you're definitely gonna want to make sure you're not being deceived in your life. And that can come in the form of what truly makes you happy. Like, don't let the maladaptive coping mechanisms convince you that that's gonna make you happy. Because selling yourself short can also come from your own behavior. So, I think it's really wanting you to think of the things that truly make you happy, and that includes setting boundaries. I mean, what's more villain era than setting boundaries? To be honest, setting boundaries and knowing your worth. Setting boundaries not just for the people in your life, but for yourself as well. And by knowing your worth, you're gonna know what boundaries to set. So definitely focus and think about what a life would look like if you stood up for your self-worth. Maybe this includes how you're being treated at work, how you're being treated at home, how your friends treat you, how your partner treats you. Like, this could be very broad. But with really thinking of what does having a high self-worth look like for me, and what boundaries does having a high self-worth require me to have? I think with those two questions, you're gonna see that transformation that we you stand up for yourself in these places and you get more of what you deserve. And it changes your life that way. Maybe you ask for that raise. Maybe you switch to a different location that's much closer to you, and now you have more free time to spend on more things that you love. Maybe those boundaries require you to do a lot more self-care. Maybe those boundaries require you to budget, and now you have more money to spend on the things that are more fulfilling in life than things that just provide instant gratification that you'll forget about soon anyway. So yeah, your villain here is definitely saying, know your worth and set some boundaries. That's a very villain here thing. Okay. Like, I feel like when I've gone through my villain eras, it was definitely because I went through too much disrespect. So I think that's why your villain era is like telling you to know your worth and set some boundaries, because I think for a lot of us, our villain era starts with being disrespected and not feeling protected. So okay, I'm gonna leave those cards in the book. quite ready for the celebration that this card usually calls for, but you are on the road to achieving your goals. It's okay to be proud of the steps you are taking to get there, even if they seem small so far, or your progress feels stagnant. Things to consider. When was the last time you took time to celebrate yourself? What is your ideal day to acknowledge yourself and the progress you've made? Take time to celebrate something today, even if it's the smallest thing. Cool. Okay. Next card. Girl, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ten of Swords. Rock bottom, ruin, loss. The Ten of Swords may be the worst card in the deck. It 100% symbolizes rock bottom, nothing left to lose. The good news, you've experienced the worst of the worst, so the only path is forward and through. This card may hit you hard, as you may not be expecting such betrayal or backstabbing, and it can send you into a downward spiral as you contemplate the painful and inevitable ending you are about to face. It can feel as though your world is crumbling around you, but take heart. Now that you're at the bottom, the only way left is back up. Do you stay down and continue to mope around on the floor, or do you pick yourself back up and start anew, continuing life instead of being pitied? Luckily, the Ten of Swords has a kind of double meaning and encourages letting go and accepting the current circumstances presented to you, quite literally signifying the end of something. Use this card as a reminder that you can learn from this negative experience and all of the pain wasn't for nothing. It's a chance to evolve. Things to consider. Take a step back from the trauma for a second. Breathe. Identify the root causes of this wild situation and really ask yourself, am I here for the thrill, or is it truly something that I care about? Okay. The Hermit. Solitude, wisdom, retreat, meditation. The Hermit embodies a quality that society often rejects: solitude. There are many fears behind the idea of being alone, but the Hermit is one card that encourages isolation. This card calls for you to take time for yourself, focusing on deep reflection and alone time. Being alone with yourself can be scary if you don't practice it often, but truly, getting to know yourself in silence will only make you as well as teach you about independence. Remember, you are the only you, and you are the only person who will always be there for yourself. There is constantly something new to learn about yourself, whether you are meditating, journaling, or just letting your mind run. Practicing solitude doesn't only mean working on yourself. In some cases, this could be an opportunity to focus your attention on a project or to remove yourself from a negative situation. Learn to be alone, but not lonely from a negative situation. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Your inner light will guide you. Things to consider. Are you choosing the solitary life, or has this fallen into your lap? What area of your life would you like clarity in? Where would you like light shed? Look deep within. Spend time alone with a journal and let your thoughts flow without holding back. Identify patterns and recurring topics. Learn how to take care of yourself. Okay? Oof. So, even though we first got the I need some water. Hold on. Okay, that's a little bit better. So, even though we got the celebration card first, now I have to sneeze. Wow. So, we got the celebration card, but we got it in reverse. So this means we're working towards something that we need to celebrate ourselves for. And I really, y'all heard what I read. I really can't help but think it has a lot to do with a situation you're gonna go through, whether you're dealing with it right now or you're about to with that Ten of Swords. You might be facing rock bottom because of a situation. Maybe you found out all your friends don't actually really care about you. Maybe you just came out to your parents and your whole family just did not support you. Maybe something happened with school or something. Whatever the case may be, that's making you have this rock bottom, this really hard time. From the Ten of Swords reading, with enough alone time and reflection, you will get through it, and you'll take steps to get yourself through it. And I think that's gonna really come, like you're gonna know what to do with that alone time you spend meditating and journaling and really letting your thoughts through. I can't help but think that whatever you're going through, maybe the answer is going to come from you allowing yourself to have your own opinions on the situation and really validate your feelings. Maybe how you're feeling is, I never want to talk to them again. Maybe that's what you gotta do. Maybe your feeling is, you know what? I'm actually not okay with what they did. Maybe your feeling is, you know what? A true friend would never do something like that to me. Maybe it's, you know what? If they really cared about me, that would have never happened. I don't know what the situation is, but whatever the case may be, maybe your opinions and your feelings will guide you to how to make a decision in this situation. Because maybe you're still holding on to something, but with your opinions, you're gonna actually find what you need to would say definitely allow your opinions to be heard, even if the only person who's hearing your opinions is yourself. Validate them, validate your feelings, and I would say you're gonna come to conclusions on how to deal with this rock bottom through your own wisdom. But you're gonna need to spend a decent amount of alone time to get that wisdom. And then at the end of it, I think what you're gonna end up celebrating is the fact that you did make it out of rock bottom, and you were there for yourself throughout it, and you were able to get yourself out of it by validating yourself and spending alone time. Because what that means is, it's like, you know what? I was there for me when nobody else was. You know what that means? I can get myself through very difficult situations. If you can get yourself through rock bottom, girl, you can get yourself through any situation. And it's gonna make you feel empowered. And I think that's what you should celebrate, is the fact that you are very strong and you can get through a lot more than you know. So, and you're also gonna celebrate the fact that you're not going through that anymore. That time is over, and you have now, you're on the other side of that now, which is always something to celebrate when you're not going through a lot. Because when you are going through it, it's just not gonna feel like you have anything to celebrate. But like the description said, like, even if the only thing you celebrate is the fact that you're taking time for yourself and, again, validating your opinions and really listening to how you feel. Because sometimes when you're really going through something, what you need the most, like, you know, you went through this terrible trauma or something, like, what you need the most is to acknowledge how that impacted you. Allow all the versions of yourself to feel some type of way about it. So I think that's very definitely shows in my fashion and my makeup. I do more dark looks. I do more powerful looks with my makeup where they're more out there because I'm like, I don't really care what you think. Because this person who cared about me and who I thought cared about me ended up not actually caring about me. So if I don't even care what they think and they've been in my life and they've had an impact on me, why would I care what you think, who I don't even know? So that's interesting. I think also